I've been invited to Samsung Unpacked as well as getting early access to the S25 Ultra, and here are my first impressions of this phone and how it's a window into a new race. I'll explain what that means. So the S25 Ultra, it's thinner and lighter, coming in at a crazy 218 grams, which is very impressive for a now 6.9-inch phone, up from 6.8 last year. The corners of the phone are no longer sharp, which means when this phone is resting in your palm, it's not going to be stabbing you like a knife. And I can personally attest to this. The weight and overall the new size, that's a word. The new size and shape of this phone is really, really comfortable. If you've used, something like the S24 Plus, this kind of feels like that, except it's just now lighter. And by the way, of course, as always, Samsung is running insane deals on these phones, and it's actually better than all the previous years, at least from what I can remember. You can get up to $900 of instant trade-in credit plus a $300 Samsung credit, which you can spend yourself on something like upgrading your storage, or maybe you want to buy Samsung Care, or maybe you want to buy a case or 10 cases. You can do whatever you want with that money. Those deals are going to last for like 8 days. So if you guys want, I'll definitely have a link down below that'll take you guys straight there. The ultra-wide camera has gotten an upgrade from 12 megapixels to 50 megapixels, which means macro photos are going to look so much more better than before. And the overall camera quality has also been improved thanks to that new 3nm Snapdragon 8 Elite made for Samsung, which does have a leg up over its competition. After taking many photos, and I mean many photos with the S25 Ultra, I have no complaints. It's a Samsung phone. They already know this camera layout, believe me. We've had this for quite a while now, and they just perfected it even further. Now, here's the interesting thing. Samsung said that they specifically were focusing on improving the video quality at night. So let's go ahead and compare it to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And well, you guys tell me what you think. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of impressed. There's also a bunch of new and helpful AI features that this phone can do, which just makes using the phone more fun. See, the race isn't hardware anymore, at least not right now. It's about software, and I kind of fully agree with that. I couldn't really care less what the hardware is about. What I care about the most is the software experience, because after all, that's kind of what you're interacting with when you're using a phone. For example, if you have a plane ticket, you can use the new AI Smart Select to capture the plane ticket, and it'll automatically add it to your calendar, as well as showing you the map to get to where you need to go. If you want more information on your day and what you kind of have going on, the new Brief focuses on what matters most, and it utilizes your calendar and other information to show you what's relevant without you having to go and kind of dig around. Any company can put AI into their phone. In fact, there's even AI toasters, like bread toasters, why? But what really matters is how helpful is that AI? How easy is it to use? And will the average consumer know how to use it? That's kind of really all it comes down to. Samsung said that the S25 series can actually adapt to you the longer you use it. It actually gets smarter. So for example, if it notices that every time you leave your car, you automatically turn off Bluetooth, well, instead of you having to do that, if the phone senses a pattern, it will actually suggest doing that via Bixby routines. So you no longer have to actually go and turn off Bluetooth every time you leave your car. It'll do it for you. Or maybe you want to summarize something on the internet and then add it to your Samsung Notes so you can go back in and read it later on. Well, let me go ahead and show you guys how this works in real time. It's actually pretty impressive. Summarize the S25, just tell me what's new, and then go ahead and add it to my Samsung Notes. What's it doing? So it's connecting to Samsung Notes, and then hopefully it should, yep, there we go. And it scoured the internet for the relevant information that I'm asking, and it added it to my Samsung Notes. Now, just to be sure, let me go ahead and open up my Samsung Notes, and it's right there. It just did two things. It did what I asked it to do, get me relevant information for the S25, and then, right, it's a two-step process, and then add it to my notes. And it did that without me having to do anything. Stuff like this is like what actually makes AI helpful instead of just giving everyone some AI gimmicks that you'll use like maybe once or twice a month and then call it a day. And hey, maybe if you go traveling to France and you see a menu and it's in French, well, this is what you can do.
Could I please have 3 items on the menu that don't go over 50 euros?
Oh, I see what you're asking now. So to be clear, you're looking for a few things. First, you want a few dishes. Second, they need to be 3 different items. And third, the total for all 3 dishes should be under 50 euros, right?
That's correct.
That's insane.
How about this combo? You could get the steak de magret au poivre, the oeuf mayonnaise, and the salade César. That would give you a little bit of everything.
That sounds perfect. Can you please order those items in the French language for me?
Sure, I can do that.
Let's see. Je voudrais le steak de magret au poivre, les œufs mayonnaise et la salade César. À emporter, s'il vous plaît.
I mean, that accent could fool me too. The display is as fantastic as it was last year, and they've actually upgraded the anti-reflective coating. And as you guys can see, I mean, no screen compares. Now, the battery capacity has stayed the same, 5,000 milliamp hours, but remember, there's so much more that goes into how long your battery lasts than your actual battery capacity. So the actual screen itself is more efficient compared to last year. And of course, you get the 3nm Snapdragon 8 Elite chip. Look, all I know is I've been using this phone since 4 a.m. whenever I left my hotel room in California. And then I flew here to North Carolina, and right now it's 7 p.m. and I have T-Mobile, so I get free Wi-Fi on the plane, and I've been watching YouTube videos, scrolling through TikTok, Instagram. It's been great. This phone, hey, it's still alive. In fact, I still have 26%. So 5,000 milliamp hours apparently is pretty darn good. Now, when it comes to heat management, Samsung did make the vapor chamber 40% larger compared to the S24 Ultra from last year, and I can attest to this as well. The second I unboxed this phone, I put in all my information and started downloading all my apps, and as it was doing that, I was on 5G taking photos and videos outside because I honestly couldn't wait. Probably don't do that, not the smartest thing. You should probably let your phone finish doing what it's doing, right? But this phone barely got warm. Like, there was like a little warm spot in the middle, but that's it. Like, it didn't get hot. And of course, that means your battery health is going to stay good for longer periods of time, because remember, heat is the phone's #1 enemy. In fact, heat is the enemy of all electronics. And the longer you can keep your phone cool, the better it is for your battery in the long term. And again, these phones are supported for 7 years, which means get your money's worth. Overall, my first impressions of the S25 Ultra is that it's just a refinement over the S24 Ultra, you know? And look, I totally understand why there are people out there that are kind of mad or kind of disappointed at Samsung that they didn't change like a lot of things about this phone. But I mean, I like it. There's not much you can change. Like I said, right now it's a software battle. And honestly, Samsung, when it comes to software, they got their stuff down, especially with AI. I mean, take a look at Apple. They released the iPhone 16, 3-4 months ago, and it still doesn't have any or most of the AI features that Apple was advertising. Meanwhile, with Samsung, boom, all the AI features right out of the box. Would I want Samsung to give us a 6,000 milliamp hour battery? Would I want Samsung to make the screen even better, even brighter, even though it's still 2600 nits of brightness? Of course, but I don't think it's needed. If you have the S24 Ultra, don't upgrade. But then again, those trade-in deals are pretty good. You can get this phone for like $400 if you trade in your S24 Ultra. That's not bad, especially if you want all the new features that this phone has: better battery life, a bigger vapor chamber for your phone to stay cool. You get that 50 megapixel ultra wide camera, a better design, a lighter phone. That's up to you. I'm not here to sell you guys a phone. I'm just saying, you know, maybe. If you have the S23 Ultra or the S22 Ultra, yeah, I'd say it's a pretty darn good upgrade. So what do you guys think about the S25 Ultra? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know your comments down below. And as always, this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.